Hello, is there anybody out there? Just shout if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? All right. Mr. J Ball. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So can you guys hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate that. So this is my first time going live in the garage with my computer. And I have to. The TV behind me is playing one of my favorite games, but I can't show it because I keep getting copyright stricken on it, even though it's on a TV in the background. So I can only show part of it. So you'll have to focus on me, I guess, for this little bit. So at this point, here's where we're at. I know that there has been a lot of speculation about that Montana Lemonious-Craig post that he did. And I know that there's a lot of outlets that have said that he is in the transfer portal. And I even have someone that I personally trust that has stated that he heard it from Jimmy or wherever Jimmy is posting this, that he is in the portal. But I am on the portal and he is not in the portal. So I don't know if 247 is not updating it very fast. And I'm trying to look at the chat here to find out what you guys think. But my first instinct in any of this is always that's not happening, guys. He's not leaving until it says he is physically leaving. And that post that he put, I didn't read anywhere in there that he said he was leaving Colorado. It does sound cryptic, but at the same time, if you read it a different way, it sounds like he's really praising Colorado because of the great opportunity that he's had over the years. I don't know, guys. Again, I have heard from someone that says that he is 100% on Montana Lemonious-Craig in the portal. So what do you guys think? What do you think? Is he in? He's not. I can tell you right now, I'm looking at it right now, guys. He is not in the portal that I can see. And I've got, just so that you know, 247 Sports, when you pull up the portal, if you want to pull it up for yourself, it's 247 Sports transfer portal. Just type it in there. Then when you go in, you're going to hit 2023 Colorado Buffaloes. The status is going to be uncommitted, and then eligible, and then latest. And that's what I see here. So at this point, I don't see him. Let's see. Shedeur was live with Montana and asked him why he was jumping in the portal. But they were at the mall. So did he not say anything, Ajo? Because I saw part of that too. And he didn't deny that he was in the portal, Alex. And that's who I was talking about is Jake from DNVR, Lawrence. He's the one that said that he's in the portal, but it's probably not official till tomorrow. So maybe that's it. Maybe we, including me, are all jumping the gun at this point, and it's going to be he's going to be in the portal tomorrow. And if that's the case, then I don't know. I have a lot of feelings about that. I think it's great if he is going into the portal and he wanted to get that post out so that he could thank Colorado before the crap hits the fan, then kudos to him. Unfortunately, when you do that, the crap hits the fan anyway. And, here I am. I'm eating my pork green chili that I'm filming for one of the future episodes of this channel called Cooking in the Buff. And it pops up on my phone. And, of course, now the pork green chili is burning on the stove. But we had to talk about this. I was going to do a video on it, but I don't know. The news is too late when it comes down to it. So at this point, he may be entering the portal tomorrow. For those of you who didn't read his post, I'm going to read his post to you now. That way you can kind of get an idea if you haven't read it already, and I'm sure a lot of you had. But it says, Colorado family, I hope this letter finds you in good health and spirits. I am writing to express my heartfelt appreciation and gratitude for the entire University of Colorado community for the incredible opportunity. Sorry, guys, I got posts coming in like every 5 seconds. Colorado community for the incredible opportunity I have attending this esteemed institution of Boulder, Colorado. During the course of my time at University of Colorado, I have been fortunate to cross paths with many remarkable individuals who have played a significant role in my journey. From dedicated fans who have cleared the team throughout the victory and loss to my fellow teammates who have become like family to me. To my fellow teammate, to the hardworking support staff who have ensured my success both on and off the field, and to the coaches who have timelessly mentored and guided me. I truly am grateful for each and every person who has continued to contribute to my college experience. I am particularly thankful to the sincere people I have had the pleasure of meeting during the time at University of Colorado. The warmth and kindness that I have experienced from the faculty and staff and fellow students has made my time here truly special. The sense of community and camaraderie that permeates from this campus has been the source of inspiration and motivation for me. I'm appreciative to all have been a part of such a supportive environment. I would also like to express my deepest gratitude to my family and their unwavering support in my journey. Your encouragement, sacrifices, and love have been a constant source of strength for me, and I am forever grateful for the presence in my life. Your belief and abilities to your constant support have been instrumental to my pursuit of my dreams, and I am honored to have you by my side. I am proud to have been a part of this community. Again, I want to thank University of Colorado for making college. Yeah, so I read it again, and it sounds like he is gone, and that is super sad. Let's see. So that brings up the question. Again, I want to make sure that everybody knows that I am on the portal and I don't see him in here. So it's very possible that he posted that just to let us know here in the Colorado community that he appreciates us. And we appreciate you, Montana. You've been a great buff for us, if indeed you are leaving. And that brings up the question of using with all of the guys that entered the portal before the spring game, and everybody was saying, why would you do that when you can show out at the spring game and then go jump in the portal and have a little bit more to your resume at that point? So for those of us who said he should have waited, okay, or they should have waited, now you have Montana Lemonious-Craig, who is potentially leaving Colorado, who showed out like I just did. I literally, there's a video out, guys, that I just posted like, I don't know, was it 20 minutes ago, that I was praising his work in the spring game, especially being a CU buff from our 111 team that, most everybody had cast out, the folks on that team. And here they come again, showing everything that they've got, and they're awesome players. So, but he showed out at the game and then now potentially is leaving. And it's like even more heartbreaking at this point than it would be if he had just left before. So I'm split, guys. I don't know how to summarize that. You guys are going crazy in the chat, and I have not been keeping up with it. But yeah, he was smart to showcase his talents. I agree with that. Neely, I'm not sure what that said. Let's see. Yeah, he was live with Montana. Shedeur was live with Montana. Let me get down here to the bottom here, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, we do have another receiver coming from USF, and we know that's a big deal. We know he's I want to say, is it true? I think I remember saying that I believe it's Wiggins is better than, or had more prolific stats than sorry guys, I'm blanking out here. But yeah, so we have more players coming and in that wide receiver position, and maybe that is the catalyst. I hadn't even been thinking about that until somebody brought that up just now. And we have more wide receivers coming too. So who cares? Move on. Willa Gaines. Yes, I see that, guys. And now that I read that letter again, it sure does read like an exit letter. And I didn't want to believe that because I keep refreshing my phone and he keeps not showing up in there, man. But for those of you who were Buff fans before Prime came that are on this chat, and I don't know how many of you there are, it just like any team, if you're a fan of Georgia, you're a fan of UCF or, whatever team you're a fan of, and you've been following the team. And then, we have a coaching carousel, which happens with every team. And then all of a sudden, a lot of your, especially recently, because it's really only a recent phenomenon, that a lot of your guys that you're used to seeing leave to go to another school. And a little bit of you goes with them. And I want this team to be better than it was last year. Obviously, I think that goes without saying. And I personally, in what I do professionally, understand that because it happens in my world too. And so I'm very familiar with the fact that you have to build on a steady foundation. But some of these guys like Montana are they're really good players. And to have them leave and to replace them with somebody else, we may just be doing like for like in a lot of cases. And having the heritage here in Colorado, it's just that's why it hits me. And you may see this on a lot of other channels. You can go on another live stream. Probably it's happening right now. There's like 14 or 15 live streams going on right now about this. Most of them probably are not really familiar with Colorado football from the standpoint of the legacy of Colorado football. But this is a big deal, guys. So if this is true, and I will say that since Jake at DNVR said that he believes that it's true based on information that he has, that's good by me. I think we're solid on this, and we're just going to wait for tomorrow for him to actually load in the portal, and then we'll wish him good luck, and he'll find a really good home really quickly. I am absolutely positive that he will get snatched up quickly, especially after his spring game. So let's go to the comments here. Let's see. Wiggins is coming. Robinson is coming. Willa Gaines is coming. Montana represented CU beautifully in the spring game. All the very best to him. I don't know. Who is this? Oh, Charmaine. That's you. Charmaine comments a lot on our channel. Very good insight. And I just picked your comment out of everybody there. And Charmaine, you were spot on. I think that you are 100% right in this. There's a whole lot of people coming, and Montana had such a good game. It's almost like at this point, maybe it's silly that he doesn't go and jump in the transfer portal, and another team is just salivating at the fact that they could have Montana on their team. And, I just hope that it's not a Pac-12 school that gets him, because that would be difficult to watch. I'll tell you that right now. Let's see. A lot of guys that see this is New World Grover. New World is also, or I should say Grover. Grover is also a prolific commenter here. A lot of guys didn't buy in. They weren't dudes. Nothing against the talent, but you need guys who want to be there. No, I agree. Anybody, again, in my profession, if someone doesn't want to be there, and it's all good for everybody, because I want whoever it is to go and do something with their life that makes them happy. I also want them to be successful, and they're the only person that can really truly make themselves successful. Nobody else is going to make it happen for him. So if Montana thinks that he needs to go and do this for himself, then he is probably right. So we're going to give that to him, because he's obviously a very smart guy and a very talented guy as well. Let's see who else we have here. Let's see. Rock. Yes, sir. It's going to be a loaded wide receiver room. We have even more coming. That's correct. And Cheryl C. They also believe that Kormani will play both ways like Travis. That was actually brought up just recently too. And I want to say it was the pregame show, or somebody mentioned that. It may have actually been the DNVR, the pregame show combo that they were doing, where they were talking about Kormani and the fact that he may be playing both ways as well. I'll be honest with you guys. I have not seen Kormani as a receiver, but just looking at him and his physical stature, being super tall and super lean, super quick, having great hands, I don't doubt it at all that he could be an outstanding wide receiver. Why would I doubt that? He looks awesome to me. Could you imagine having two corners that are wide receivers? I mean, I hadn't thought of that until I heard it the other day, and that's just unbelievable. Let's see who else is on here. Nessa is on here. Nessa Mose. I really hate it, but I hope he does well with future endeavors. I agree with you 100%, Nessa, and he will. He will do great at wherever he's at. Again, I don't want him to go to a Pac school, a Pac-12 school. I want him to go to the University of Oklahoma. I'm going to put that right now. University of Oklahoma. Montana, tomorrow, if you go into the portal, go to the University of Oklahoma because they play in the Pac or they play in the Big 12, so we don't have to play you. And then next year they play in the SEC, and we don't have to play you again. So there you go. That works out well for me too, because I am also an OU fan, as well as guys. I don't know if you watch this channel, you've heard me say it before. I'm a football nerd. I'm a NFL Cowboy guy and Bronco guy. I grew up to where both teams were, infecting me. Same thing with Oklahoma football, Colorado football. Obviously, Colorado is where my heart is. But I'm also a fan of Michigan. I'm a fan of Notre Dame. I'm a fan of FSU. I just love watching football. But I don't want Montana to go to a school that competes with us. Let's see who else is in here. Mario says we need one big possession receiver, 6'4" to 6'6". You're right. We don't have a lot of tall guys. If Kormani plays both ways, he's pretty tall. I think he's 6'2". But you're right. We don't have a super, super lengthy receiver right now that I can remember anyway. We got some tall tight ends. Let's see. Cameron. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you for your coverage yesterday, Alpine. I appreciate it, guys. Now, keep in mind that I'm not good with this. The fact this is the first time I've gone live on my computer that I bought secondhand. I normally, on my other YouTube channel, I build cars with a camera. So, this live stuff doesn't really work well for me. But yesterday I learned a lot. Somebody said turn the camera sideways instead of filming up and down. I did that. I started doing that about halfway through, you'll notice, and things started out better. So I appreciate all the support, folks. CJK, who also is another commenter on the channel, I think he is out. CJK, you guys are really pushing me on this because, again, I'm one of those guys where I like to see things with my eyes. But it'll be tomorrow then. We'll just have to wait till tomorrow to see. But I agree with you. The last time I read that, it certainly sounded like an exit letter, but a really elegantly written exit letter. I mean, honestly, it made me tear up the first time I say tear up, choke up. Maybe I didn't cry, but I definitely, it sat in my stomach a little bit because of all the praise I gave him in the video that's posted right now on YouTube. So let's see who else is on here. Let's see. We have Big L. Oh, Big LT's here. Weaver is 6'1". Yeah, we have a lot of guys that are over 6 foot, but I think we're looking for, or a lot of people are looking for that NFL build receiver, which is like 6'3", 6'4", something like that, which we don't have right now. Let's see. Jim is in the house. He says, I think watching the spring game, we don't need big receivers. The tempo is so fast. I think the coaches are looking for speed. And that could be true. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that your 6'4" receivers aren't fast, because there are a lot of 6'4" receivers that have good speed. But our guys, the ones that are 6'1", 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", they have 40-inch vertical leaps. So, I mean, at that point, they could be 8'10". It doesn't really matter. They're going to get above those defensive backs. I like Zico as a receiver, Peso said. I agree with you 100%. Now, there's a whole lot of non-news around Zico right now. But he will. I think he's going to be great for us. Whatever is going on and all this other stuff at the spring game and stuff like that, Zico is going to ball out for us. I believe that 100%. He wants speed. Prime wants speed. That's what he wants. He's going for the fastest backs he can find, fastest wide receivers he can find. I'm going to go back in the chat a little bit because I don't want to leave anybody. Quentin also comments on here a lot. And he said, I can appreciate him presenting his resume on ESPN, which certainly he did. That is correct. He put his resume out there. And with this letter right now and the way that Coach Prime and the rest of the coaches probably feel about him, I'm sure he'll get a great recommendation if asked. I would imagine he probably would. Let's see who else got here. Would be crazy if Coach Prime goes after that receiver who hit the portal. Oh, that was somebody from my family and probably didn't know I was in here doing a live stream. Let's see. Hey guys, you're welcome to come in here and give me your 2 cents. Yeah, so I've heard a lot. I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen this TCU wide receiver. I've heard a lot about him. But why would that be crazy for the TCU wide receiver to come in? Why would it be crazy? I think that would probably blow some stuff up. That first game against TCU, if we had one of their receivers and that receiver scored the first touchdown, see, there I go again, fantasizing. Somebody said, Love moves, haven't heard that. Any facts on him? Love, what did you put in here? Love moves is a big commenter here. Let me go back a little bit. Zico is on academic probation. May not pass to play. All right, Love. Love got that from somewhere. I don't know, guys. I'll be honest with you. Yesterday, these last few days have been kind of absorbed in running around campus and the stadium and tailgates and things like that. So I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to what's going on. That's what I kind of rely on, guys like, I don't know if you guys follow Adam Munster Tiger on 247, but he's one of the first ones to really put out really good, legitimate stuff. And then Brian Howell, same thing, CU. And then the DNVR guys. The DNVR guys are always on top of it. I'm more of the, don't know what to do, so I make a video and be passionate because that's what I love about Colorado football. Let's see. Dev says wide receiver room isn't as packed as people think. There are a lot of freshman receivers with no experience. We need to add more experience in the wide receiver room. So we have a lot of transfers coming in. And although they are from, I would say smaller schools, their experience is very valuable. And they were pretty prolific receivers. So I think this transfer portal, because like you guys know, I think most of you who follow college football know that when you're when you're taking over, and this works in business and it works in football, but when you're taking over a football organization, and you're building it from scratch, the old school way of doing it was you just had to start recruiting. And then 4 years later, all those recruits come in, they get experience. And then by the time they're juniors and seniors, you start having really good football. If you're a good coach and you're a good recruiter, in year 3 and year 4, you're expected to actually start putting out. Now with the transfer portal, just instantly in 2 years. Now in the transfer portal, you're expected to show out like tomorrow. In fact, that Coach Prime even said he put his money where his mouth is. And he says, we're going to win immediately. And he knows that the transfer portal is the way to do it, because you can't just, go out and recruit for half, or I should say a quarter of a season, half a season. Well, no, I'm going to say a quarter of a season, because some of these guys in high school had been recruited for years before now that are coming in 23. And if Prime comes now and starts recruiting, a lot of times it's too late. We have a lot of people who are already committed. We've already seen him flip commits, but it's just a little bit tougher right now. So going to the transfer portal and pulling people out that have some playing experience, then at this point is going to be a positive thing for us. And we might actually be able to just have a great team just on the transfer portal alone and let this recruiting thing kind of build like it's supposed to over the next couple of years. And then in 24 and 25, 24, you have the playoffs changing, right? And 25, now all of a sudden we've got recruits that are coming in, prime recruits that are coming in that have played for at least 1 or 2 seasons. And we may be a national title contender at this point. I'm going to put it out there. I know lots of other people have said it. But I think that's kind of where our bread and butter is going to be. I think we're going to be competitive in the Pac-12 this year, but by 25, who knows? Let's see. We have Jeremiah. Let me read this real quick. See, I don't have a moderator because this is my first live stream. I want to make sure I'm not reading something that shouldn't be read. Okay, yeah. So Jeremiah says we got Willa Gaines. We also have Marion Miller and Adam Hopkins coming this summer. So he says we'll be okay. And there's a lot of laughing, crying emojis. And so Jeremiah, I get your point. Is we shouldn't be super sensitive about it because the opportunity that we're going to have with these new receivers is going to be good. So it's just a little bit of sorry guys, I don't want to get too much of that football game in here. It'll cost like crazy. So no, I agree with that statement. We could lose every player on the team and replace every single player with a transfer portal player and probably be okay. As long as our coaches are good, we're going to be okay. It's just for me, and you're watching this channel. So I just want to make sure you understand who I am. I'm a Colorado guy. So when I say I'm a Colorado guy, meaning I'm a deep-rooted Colorado guy. And that's the reason why you keep seeing videos on like Offerdahl and stuff on my channel, just because he's a Colorado kid, came from Colorado, walked on, and shut out last year on this other stuff. So, and the same with all the others. That's the same with Hankerson. Hankerson was a great player for us last year, and he's really showing out this year. And man, I hope Hankerson doesn't jump in the portal. We haven't lost we've lost, I think, a little bit of each position except for running back. We haven't had anybody from the running back crew jump in yet. And I'm not jinxing us because there'll be no jinxing on this channel, guys. Charlie was hurt. Yes. He emailed me last night before I got home because we were out late on Pearl Street partying with everybody else. And I got back to the house and he had already emailed me saying that he saw the live stream and knew that people were asking about him and he wanted to make sure people knew he wasn't suited just because he had been injured that week. Same as, Horn got injured. And there's a few other people that are nursing some injuries. It's a normal thing. I like the spring game as an opportunity because people know, I think all of you know who our quarterback is, right? So, Shedeur's going to do a great job. That, Horn didn't play, but Horn's going to be good. He doesn't have to really show out in the spring game because we know we've seen him in practice. We've seen him in his last school. We know he's going to be good. It's the other folks. It's the folks that haven't had a lot of opportunity to shine that the spring game really means a lot to. And so when you have, for instance, Lemonious-Craig, knowing that there's a whole lot of talent coming in, be able to show out like that, I was very proud of that for him. And also Hankerson did a great job. Dylan Edwards has been here for a year and he did a great job. Victor Venn, I didn't mention Victor Venn in the video and I don't know why. And I like to hit my counter, so I'm gonna do it right now. I don't know why I didn't mention Victor Venn, but I was really happy to see him out there. Last year he's a young guy. He was here last year as a freshman. He was injured last year, but we haven't really seen a lot of him. And then all of a sudden now in the spring game, boom, he shows up and it's exciting. It really is exciting. I love to see him out there. Smoke at wide receiver. Yeah. Guys, I don't know if you've watched any video of Smoke, but if you put him out in the flat, the dude has hands. He's going to be a great receiver out there, screens and stuff like that, maybe. But yeah, I think he's going to be really good. Who else had I saw a comment in here. I'm sorry, guys. I saw a comment in here that I wanted to address. I swear says, yeah, they got Smoke, Hankerson, Dion, Dylan Edwards. Yeah, there's a lot of depth at running back, and that's why I don't want to say oh, that's right. Duh, Jail Stacks. Dang it, man. Like the first one, too. Why did I forget Jail Stacks? I don't know. I did a video on him. But you're right. Jail did leave. Dang. Deion Smith could be out as well. You think so? What else? Need running backs with experience. Well, we have Dion. He has experience. And he was really good last year. He didn't have a lot of reps. That's the problem with our running backs last year, is that our running backs, like, I'm going to say Deion Smith, if he had double the amount of plays, he could have been close to 1,000-yard back. But he didn't, because we were throwing like all the time trying to keep up in games. So, these running backs there, I don't think we had a single running back on the list that was under 4.5 yards a rush, if I'm not mistaken. I need to look that up, but I'm almost positive that Hankerson and Dion were both over a 4.5% average rush. I'll look that up. I could be wrong with that, like I was Jail Stacks. But if I'm Shedeur, I'm regretting taking MLC to Miami with me. That's an interesting take. If you didn't earn a number before the spring game, chances are you're hitting the portal. I don't know. That's a lot of people that didn't get numbers. Could be true, but I don't know. We just have so many people coming at the end of the year. Just in like less than 30 days, we have all of these people showing up. So we need scholarships and we need numbers and we need, all kinds of things. So these coaches are professionals. They've been doing this for a long time, and the combined experience that we have, they all got together in these rooms, and you can see they had a lot of time, like 2-3 months, where they could sit around and kind of hash this out and come with a game plan. Coach Prime leading the team, and then they come out with, here's the plan. This is what we're going to do. This is what to expect. Don't be surprised if people hit the portal. Right now, we need to go and backfill them, because if we think people aren't going to leave, we're going to get caught with our pants down, and we're not going to do what we said we were going to do. So we got to go and do this and just know that we're doing the right thing. And that's the hard part of coaching, is that if you react too fast, you get judged. If you don't react fast enough, you get fired. So at this point, they're doing what they know how to do, which is, let's just go out and let's go get them. Anything else that falls on the wayside just wasn't meant to be here anyway. And we're going to build a championship team. And you know what? I am on board. And I know all of you are too, or at least most of you. I've seen a couple of comments that probably didn't allude to that, but most everybody in this chat is all for the attrition. Let me get down in here and see what else anybody else is saying. And guys, I am sorry. I will promise you I will become more attentive at this live stream thing. Stop talking a little bit more and start listening to you guys. Jordan Smith. I sense some tampering here for MLC. He most likely had coaches reaching out to him after yesterday's performance. Wow. That's what, that's why I say I am not a reporter. I'm not a reporter. I am exactly like every single one of you. I am a football fan that loves to talk about football. And these kind of headlines, like the one that I just said, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying that is an interesting take. I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, I was talking about this to my wife earlier and saying that the spring game is one of those things that if coaches that are out there that are, all right, so I'm not a coach. Okay. I have coached, but let's be serious about this here. I coached little league football. So I wanted to get in with the juniors, and I wanted to just start coaching juniors. I wanted to get little guys. And this was in early 2000s. And I had the most fun I've ever had doing that. It was so awesome to see that. And although none of those guys that were on any of my teams ended up playing D1 football, I still see at least a few of them as adults now, and it's a lot of fun. But I digress. So I'm not a coach. But what I will say is this, is that I think there is a coach's standard, and the coaches are generally not going to do the things that we just talked about. They're not going to call out to recruits that are on a team that haven't entered the transfer portal yet. But keep in mind that I grew up in the era of NCAA scandals at universities, and I would not put it past some coaches to do that. And they see Montana in there, and they're like, hey, by the way, we're smart coaches too, and we know that Colorado is going to load their wide receiver group, and we can make Montana a star at X university. Let's just put a little like generic tweet out there or something like that, or maybe message him and say, hey, did great, really watching you, that kind of thing. Not really anything that would be an NCAA violation, but at the same time, you get the hint. So if he hits the portal tomorrow, it'll be interesting to see how fast he goes from uncommitted to committed. What else, guys? I like that thread right there, but I'm probably going to stay away from it because I didn't read the whole thing. So Quentin pops up again and says MLC showed out when he needed to. Good for him, but things are still going to be okay for him leaving, or with him leaving, I should say. So Good Time Chaser says, Chris, go find Bigfoot. I don't know what that means. So pop back up in here and tell me what that means. So I haven't found Bigfoot yet, but I know where there's a Yeti. And if you want to see him, I can open that door and he'll pop right out. He's a 135-pound husky. I do think Montana is leaving because he is playing with a Heisman candidate quarterback. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that totally wrong. Okay, so looks like is it Malachi? I do not think Montana is leaving because he is playing with a Heisman winning quarterback or potential Heisman winning quarterback. That could be true. Yeah, Xavier Weaver's coming. Chris, go cry in the corner. J27. Not sure what that means. Pop back up here and let me know. So Elston, yeah, Charlie was injured. He couldn't play. So I put a video out about that right before this whole thing happened. So if you go back and watch that, I'll give you a little bit more detail, but that's about all there was. I didn't want to poke him too much. Injuries are typically a very personal thing. And I know that he wanted to have that platform to show what he could do, and he didn't get to do it. But I think there's more to come from him. So, naturally kinky curly me, another great commenter on the channel. So we're talking about Montana Lemonious-Craig and whether or not he is going into the portal. I'm going to refresh the portal real quick, guys, because he put out a letter that was a little bit cryptic, thanking the university. I say cryptic. That's a weird word. Why would I say cryptic? It's cryptic to me. It feels like he's leaving. It feels like an exit letter. Like when you're getting broken up with by somebody and you start to read the letter and you're like, oh man, this is not going to be a good day for me. That's what it sounded like. But I just looked in here and Joshua Wiggins is still the last guy in the portal from Colorado. Let's see what we got here. Winston Watkins is a class 2. Yeah, that's right. So he's not going to be here for a little while. So Legend LX, so Legend also a big time commenter here, says he is in the portal. I looked. So Legend, pop back up here and let me know where you're finding him because I've been refreshing this thing over and over and I don't see him. Does anybody else see him other than Legend in the portal? Right. Barstool, Colorado mentioned it too. There's been a few. Barstool, Colorado, DNVR. There's a few people that have. The ones that I usually follow, I'd say the closest, maybe not the closest, still have not posted it yet. You think MLC is going to USC? Bears going to USC. I know you guys saw that. It looked like all this. I saw this announcement for Bear, and he was going to be doing his. Bear Alexander was going from Georgia, and he entered the portal, and he's going somewhere, and it was a really big reveal tonight. And then the reveal just was kind of really quick. I expected there to be more fanfare, but I guess all they wanted to do was just let people know. Let's see who else is in here. Time will tell. Be patient, grasshoppers, Charles Kelly says. So, I'm sorry. I can't even see what your name is, but it says you don't post something like that unless you're leaving. Wide receiver room is stacked. Yeah, Bear went from he went from UGA to USC. So Bear did. So USC's got all that. What do you want to call it? Like movie star money? USC does. Even though I don't know if you guys read that news or not, but they had an NIL fund that actually folded after they got a whole bunch of people in it, like made a bunch of commitments and stuff like that. USC Southern Cal is where Bear's going. Let's see who else we got here. Coach Prime wants dogs. 1 in 11 players can go. Okay. Yeah, he's going to go play in California with Caleb. Caleb obviously is probably a really good recruiter for just about anybody. No, I don't see Sal in the portal. The portal for me, I'm not sure what some other people are looking at. There may be another way of looking at the portal. The way I've always looked at it is through 247, and I don't see him in there. Let's see. Caleb is winning the Heisman. You think he's going to go for 2? You think he's going to go for 2? I don't know that. He could go for 2. I mean, I think USC's team is potentially going to be better than it was last year because that was, the first year for new coaching and everything. I can't wait. So Naturally Curly says, or naturally, I'm going to say Naturally Curly instead of Naturally Kinky. I can't wait to hear about all the new guys coming in. It's like they have a flood of people leaving, but a trickle of people coming in, or maybe I'm wrong. No, so it depends on which way you look at it. There's a lot of people coming in. We have a lot of recruits coming in I'll say a lot of recruits. We have a handful of recruits coming from the 23 class. We have some transfer guys that are coming in. But the transfer portal is where Prime has said he is going to make his money this year in the spring. And I believe he's right. He's just going to go and get it. Yeah, no, I know. So what you say? No, I know. Guys, I'm an old man and I bought the smallest laptop I could find. I need a bigger screen. There's a whole bunch of guys out there that have great setups for live streams. I'm doing this poorly. I apologize. So I have proof on my Twitter account. So I'll go on Twitter and take a look at that. That's what one of you guys said. Colorado is going to be good. I agree with you. I think Colorado is going to be markedly better than we were last year. And you know what? We're going to have fun, more fun doing it. I can guarantee you that. All right, guys, I'm going to get a couple more comments in here because I haven't seen anything more on here. I'm assuming he's leaving. Everything points to the fact that he's leaving, other than, hold on a second. Somebody just sent me something.
I'm just saying, you know, people got their own crooked ways about themselves, bro, you know. But I can only control me, man. Montana, Lemonious-Craig. Somebody said MLC, man. MLC and TP right now, man.
There you go.
I'm just saying that's foul though. I'm not gonna delete that picture. I should delete now.
All right. So, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know who sent that to me. Somebody just sent that to me. But that's Shedeur saying that he is in the portal, and then you see MLC standing right next to him. So there you go. He's in the portal, guys. He's not in the portal, but he's in the portal. Or he is in the portal and not in the portal, or going to be in the portal, or whatever. But he had gone, so we don't, at this point, have anything else to say about it, except for good luck to him. And don't go to a Pac-12 school. I'm going to do a couple more comments here. Somebody's saying that Chase is in there as well in the portal. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm not seeing it. Good luck, MLC. Yeah, so it's been stated in the comments, I am starting to dislike college football because of these dirty games being played. So we're going to end on that topic, even though this is not really what this is about. Is, you know, Coach was talking about the players leaving before the spring game, and there's a lot of talk about that. We didn't even talked about it here. That, was it smart for those players to leave? My take on that was those guys may have received information that if they enter the portal early, they'll probably get picked up early instead of waiting until after everybody else is picked up, and then they go on there and nobody has any room for them. So maybe that was it. You know, there's a lot of dissent on that theory. I honestly, I haven't talked to him. I don't know. I'm just thinking about if it were me, why would I enter it early? I wouldn't. I would play in the spring game. I would get as much exposure as I possibly could. But keep in mind that the spring game can be a two-edged sword. So you can go out there and you can look really, really good, and you can go out there and you can look terrible and ruin every opportunity you have in the portal for picking up a good team. So the good news for MLC is that he showed out really well, and he will get picked up really fast. So that is great. Now, as far as the dirty tricks that players are playing and coaches are playing and stuff like that, I mean, that's the new era of football. We just got to get used to it. You know, I'm not a big fan of it either. Obviously, I'm an old man, and old men have a tendency to hold on to the past. And the past was when you got commits to a school, you pretty much bet that they were going to stay there. But keep in mind, like I said, I'm also, you know, I grew up kind of, you know, I was a CU fan 100%. I was also an OU fan as well. And this is back in OU's heyday in the late 70s, early 80s. And, you know, we lost Troy Aikman, for an example, through the transfer portal to UCLA. And that was big news at the time. But we had other quarterbacks coming in and we're already there that could really play as well as he did at the time. He ended up going to USOLA. He balled out, went and won some Super Bowls. I mean, that was old school transfer stuff. He had to sit out a year when he did it. But this particular setup now, it's free agency. So you can get up and you can leave if you feel like there's a better opportunity for you somewhere. And good for you. I mean, it's no different than the NFL at this point. And it really, at the end of the day, they're both businesses. The school makes money on it. And the school made a lot of money on the spring game. And Lemonious-Craig helped that for them too. So, you know, kudos to him. Kudos to all of you guys for not only coming to the stadium if you did that, but also for the ones that tuned in as well, because that revenue goes to the University of Colorado. That media money goes to the University of Colorado for having the game there. So at that point, everybody that's on this chat, regardless of who you are, and regardless of what your point of view is, are all doing a very good job kind of getting this university where we want it to be. So I'm going to leave it at that. Good luck to you, Montana. And also good luck to all the wide receivers that, are seeing all of this footage and know they're coming in and see that now there's even more room for them to kind of ball out and show out and get more, I guess you could say, get more TV time, get more time on the field. That's good for them as well. Everybody wins from this. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you. I'm going to figure this out. Somebody said I need to get a bigger screen. I probably need to get glasses. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to get better at this. I'll probably end up having somebody with me so that, like DNVR does it, so someone can read the comments and someone can, pull the content. But you guys have been great. I only saw a few people in there really harassing me, so I appreciate that very much. And for those of you who joined, you guys are awesome. And we'll do this again sometime real soon. So thank you very much. That's a wrap from Alpine Garage Sports. I do appreciate you being here, and we'll see you in the next video. And if you haven't already heard, we coming.